Hey guys, Philosopher here, and today we're talking about red stars on Ultron. Now, I have been getting a lot of questions lately about whether or not you should go all in on Ultron. Apparently, there are some players who are bringing him up to G15, blowing all their red star orbs when there's no featured character just to get the dark promo credits to promote him up in red stars. I've been having people lately coming to my Discord and giving that advice to new players, giving that advice to free-to-play players, telling them that they should be going all in on Ultron, he's the best, and so forth. And I am making this video because it's happening so much lately that I want to make sure everyone knows that is really, really, really bad advice. I can't imagine worse advice to give to a free-to-play player, to give to a player on unlimited resources if you're a Dolphin sort of player. Very, very horrible advice. Certainly bad advice for new players. Please do not do this. So you will see my Ultron is at Gear Tier 13. I obviously could just press the button here and bring him to Gear Tier 14. I have not done so. I could press another button after that and bring him to Gear Tier 15. I have not done so. The reason I have not done so is because he's really not all that important in the meta anymore. He just isn't. I have Dark Promotion credit, and I had almost 2,000, and I was thinking, okay, I'm getting close to the cap. I guess I'll have to spend some on Ultron or Ultimus or whatever. I'm very happy that they upped the cap to 3,000, so I don't have to. All right, and frankly, what I'm saving these for is for the day, whenever that comes, when Doom is available in Red Star Orbs. Well, so why not? Well, let me give you, I want to talk this through because I actually have some data to present to you. I have quite a bit I want to show you regarding why I think this is a bad idea. Okay? I've been talking a lot about power creep in this game, something I call the Great Reset, where they are power creeping new characters so much that older characters just don't have the value they used to. And, you know, Ultron is a character that was already getting a little long in the tooth and power crept before the Great Reset. And now when you look at his stats, they are just so low. Let's look at the stat table here. So this is at 7 red stars. Let's break it down to 0 red stars. No red stars in any character, so red stars aren't the issue. Look at the health of Ultron. This is a list on MSF.gg. Where is Ultron here in health? He should be... So he's 78th in health, next to Wolverine, right? This is with no red stars. All right, let's look at his damage. $31st. Okay. You know, we can look at his focus, right? 116th. The point I'm trying to make is his stats are no longer special. They're not good. Now, you may say, well, Ultron's a kit-based character, and that's true. But what he's special for doing and what was so amazing about his kit back when DD2 first came out is not as special anymore. It just isn't. And so I'm going to tell you something. I'm in an alliance where most of my alliance mates have had 3 red star Ultron for a long time. And he is on the bench for us in war. So, you know, I've made a war offense tier list, in which I'll show here. Some of you guys have seen it before. I have Ultron here in this team, I'll call the Kestrel Speed team, where you got Kestrel, Fury, Namor, Ultron, and Falcon. Ultron's just here to summon bots so they can ping defense down characters. So the real star of the show, Kestrel, gets more of her pings in, okay? But we don't use this team much at this point anymore, almost never, because we need Kestrel to counter heroes for hire, because sometimes there's Infinity Watch on defense, or sometimes we need Infinity Watch for other teams, and so forth. And frankly, we also need Kestrel for other teams, or you use Kestrel with Secret Avengers or some other thing. I'm going to be updating this list soon, but the point is Ultron's almost always on the bench for us, for our alliance in war. Let's look at raids. and where he's been used. Okay, we can go to the Doom right here for a second. You might say to yourself, well, Philosopher, I'm sure you use all, why aren't you using Ultron in the tech nodes? Well, the boss node is the hard node. It's got multiple black bolts in it, 3 black bolts in it, which is just a hard counter to Ultron. So Ultron is basically worthless in the Doom boss node. He just gets totally owned. Can you use him in the first 2 nodes of tech? Yes. Those nodes are way, way easier. And unless you don't have Doom, in which case Ultron can be an okay substitute until you get Doom, I just don't think you need. Between Doom and Kestrel, you really need Ultron there. All right. Is he okay? Sure. In 1.0 in particular, yes. But I will tell you guys, I have further data to share with you. A lot of people in my alliance have 5 red star Ultron. Now, you may ask yourself, well, Philosopher, are you saying we shouldn't do what your alliance mates are doing? Yes, you should not do what my alliance mates are doing, because they do all sorts of crazy stuff because they're super Krakens who spend $1 jillion on this game and have been playing for 1,000+ days. They have rosters where they'll put G15 on like Vulture or Squirrel Girl. Like I see you guys posting in the comments about some of my alliance mates are doing. They're doing that stuff because they have like unlimited resources and have been playing forever and spending forever. But that's not good advice for most players. So if you're a major Kraken, sure. Fine. Knock yourself out. Do whatever you want. If you got everything at G15 already, cool. Do whatever you're going to do at Ultron. But if you are most players, normal players, this is really, really bad advice. So, for example, I actually asked one of my alliance mates who has a 5 red star Ultron, G15, how he's performing. And I'll just tell you exactly who it is so you can see. I'm going to show you his account because somebody in my Discord asked to see his account. So it's Inept Esme, who is a top 10 overall TCP, 22 million TCP. Okay? Here is the top of Inept's account. As you'll see, Inep has like tons of 6 and 7 red star characters. He's got a ridiculous number of characters at G15. Okay. When you look through his roster, it's absolutely insane. Okay. This is just the top. You can go to the next page. I mean, he isn't just a guy who has the useful characters at G14 or G15. He's got the G15 Vulture. Okay. He's got G14 Ant-Man. There's his Ultron, G15, 5 red stars. So you know he's not just, making this stuff up, okay? He actually has it. He's got a G15, 7 red star Vision, okay? I mean, this guy has got basically everything at G14 or G15 that you could possibly imagine, right? He's got a G14 Hydra Sniper, G14 Hydra Grenadier. He's got G14 Graviton, right? Toad, Star-Lord, Thing, whatever you could imagine he has, okay? Even, down to G14 Miles or Storm or whatever. He's got it. Crossbones, OG Spider-Man. Okay, this guy's got it all. So he took the plunge because he has almost 6 or 7 red stars on like almost all of his characters. He's got almost everything at G15. He's just sitting around waiting for DD5 to come to the game. So why not? For him, it makes perfect sense to be like, okay, yeah, I've got, if I've got Toad and Miles at up in G14, G15, or might as well get Ultron up to 5 red stars. Like he's just trying to complete his roster. For him, it makes sense. This guy has actually tested Ultron out. He's still useless in the Doom raid at difficulty 1. He doesn't use him at all. He says he's useful on certain nodes in Alpha, and I'll just tell you, I run Alpha 4.3 without Ultron, and not only do I complete my entire lane without any trouble or ever getting close to dying, but I use Secret Avengers plus Doom, and you can use anybody as the 5th, practic, any kind of reasonable 5th, and you just blow through that. You're fine. So you may say to me, well, so you don't need Ultron for that. He did it just, he uses Ultron on a couple nodes. He hasn't tried him yet in War much because we don't really use Ultron in War, but he's like, he says in his words, he's like the minions stay alive longer and have more beefier, but Ultron still dies pretty easily. And that sounds about right. He's a good character. I'm not saying he's not, but he's not really all that important anymore. So you may say to me, well, hey, philosopher, it's easy for you to say or for Inept to say because you guys have everything unlocked. What if you don't have Secret Avengers? Guys, if you are a free-to-play, this is not my roster, if you are a free-to-play player or you are a player on a limited budget, you should be more careful about your investments, not less careful. Yes, you don't have Secret Avengers. I get that, maybe. Let's just say you only have your 2-star Captain Sam, okay, or whatever. Fine. I get it. But you need to be more careful because you have fewer resources to blow. And I have been hearing people say, well, you don't get much out of these red star orbs anyway. Okay. Well, here's what I would say. It's easy to say if you're a Kraken who's got hundreds and hundreds of red star orbs. But if there are free-to-play players who rely on these basic red star orbs to get red stars on newer characters. And if you are a free-to-play player, my suggestion to you is to save your resources and go all in on Deathpool rather than going all in on Ultron. Because Deathpool, we don't know her stats yet. And that's why I haven't made a video about, encouraging people to go all in on her yet, because I want to see the stats. Maybe she's a glass cannon. But assuming she's not, frankly, whatever her stats are, she's a better bet than Ultron by a long margin. So I'd rather if you have a limited number of red star orbs, pull them for her. Now, you may say, well, philosopher, look at the odds on these. They're very unlikely to get a high red star. Well, I'd rather have a 1% chance of getting 5 red stars on Deathpool than blowing 500, 1,000 of these to get, 5 red stars on Ultron. Because let me tell you something, the cost associated with getting Ultron up to 5 red stars is insane. Look at this. Just to go from 4 to 5 alone requires 2,400 dark promos. That's nuts. This is Scopely's trick to get you to blow your red star orbs outside of featured characters. If you are a player on a limited budget and you have very limited numbers of red star orbs, save them for the good characters, the new power creep OP characters. Do not blow them on characters that have been out for years and have already been power crept. That is a waste of your red star orbs, and Scopely is basically trying to entice you to blow your red star orbs on old characters that have already fallen off. If Ultron is not that great in difficulty 1 of Doom 1, what makes you think he's going to be so great in Doom 2? You have to, when you have limited resources, invest for the future, not in the past, okay? So if Ultron's your favorite character and you love him from the comics or something, fine. I know people who, have gone all in on Miles or whatever, or Squirrel Girl because they're their favorite characters. Good, go for it. But if you're actually trying to get ahead in this game, I can't imagine worse advice to be giving to a free-to-play player or a new or mid-game player than going all in on Ultron. This is bad advice for almost every player. So I will just tell you, as a player who is a whale in this game, although not nearly at the level of the inepts of the world, I bought those red star offers that came out that they tried to get you to buy for Ultron, and I saved my red star orbs so I could use them on new characters. So I could use it to get the new warriors up. Because you know what? As we've seen from my red star opening videos, these often just don't hit, and it requires me to open. If I want to get 5 red stars on a new character, I have to open 100 plus orbs. I would rather do that and get 5 red stars on Deathpool or Cloak or Dagger or whatever the new character may be that's coming out, rather than 5 red stars on Ultron. All right, guys. If you like this video, smash that like button. Subscribe to this channel. If you have comments, questions, if you disagree, put them in the comments below or go to my Discord. That's linked below as well. We have a lot of great discussion there, but please be respectful and please have evidence and reasoning behind your claims. We have a very respectful, positive place. It's a place for newer players, for free to play, for whales, for new, for old, for every kind of player to have a discussion and be part of things. And then, of course, we also have a Twitch stream that's linked below as well, where we have these discussions on an ongoing basis, usually during weeknights.